How are you adapting to the outside world?
Very well, I think. I'm very excited to have my own bedroom and dressing room.
Oh, we must see what we can devise for your amusement. Oh, very well. Show him up. Valmont is here. Monsieur le Vicomte de Valmont, my child. You very probably don't remember, except that he's conspicuously charming. Never opens his mouth without first calculating what damage he can do.
Then why do you receive him?
Everyone receives him. He has a distinguished name, a large fortune, and a very pleasant manner. You'll soon find his society is riddled with such inconsistencies. We're all aware of them. We all deplore them. And in the end, we all accommodate to them. Besides which, people are quite rightly afraid to provoke his malice. No one has the slightest respect for him, but everyone is very nice to him.
Madame!
Vicomte! You remember Cecile?
Well, indeed. But who could have guessed she would flower so gracefully? I wanted to call upon you before leaving the city.
Oh, I'm not sure we can allow that. Why should you want to leave?
Paris in August, you know. Besides, it's time I paid a visit to my old aunt. I've neglected her disgracefully.
I approve of your aunt. She takes such an intelligent interest in the young. She's been able to maintain a kind of youthfulness of her own.
Evidently, she finds our conversation intriguing.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I think it's time we got you home.
I'm just used to being in bed by 9 at a time.
So I should hope.
You know why I summoned you here this evening?
I had hoped it was for the pleasure of my company.
I need you to carry out a heroic enterprise. Something for your memoirs.
I don't know when I shall ever find time to write my memoirs.
Then I'll write them. You remember when Jericho left me?
Yes.
And ran off with that fat mistress of yours whose name escapes me?
Yes, yes.
No one has ever done that to me before. Or to you, I imagine.
I was quite relieved to be rid of her, frankly.
No, you weren't. One of Jericho's more crass and boring topics of conversation was what exactly he would look for in a wife. What qualities, when the time came, as he put it, to settle down.
Yes.
He had this ludicrous theory that blondes were inherently more modest and respectable than any other species of girl. And he was also unshakably prejudiced in favor of convent education. And now, he's found the ideal candidate.
Cecile Valange.
Very good.
And her 60,000 a year, I'm sure that played some small part in his calculation.
I tell you, if she were an uncloistered brunette, he wouldn't even go near her. She could be worth twice that much. His priority, you see, is a guaranteed virtue.
I wonder if I'm beginning to guess at what it is you intend to propose.
Jericho will be with his regiment in Corsica until October. That should give you plenty of time.
And you mean to...
She is a rosebud.
You think so?
And then Jericho will get back from his honeymoon to laughing stock of Paris. Yes, love and revenge. Two of your favorites.
No, I can't.
What?
You know how difficult I find it to disobey your orders, but really I can't.
Why not?
It's too easy. What is she, 15? She knows nothing. She's seen nothing. She's bound to be curious. She'd be on her back before you unwrap the first bunch of flowers. Any one of a dozen men could do it. I have my reputation to consider.
There is someone who's fallen for her already. Young Danceny. He goes around to sing duets with her.
And you think you'd like to try a little close harmony?
Yes, but he's as timid and inexperienced as she is. We can't rely on him. So you see, it'll just have to be you.
Has Danceny not been a great
He's
success?
been disastrous. Like most intellectuals, he's intensely stupid. He's just such an incompetent boy. I mean, he's charming, but he's hopeless.
I often wonder how you managed to invent yourself.
I had no choice, did I? I'm a woman. Women are obliged to be far more skillful than men. You think you put as much ingenuity into winning us as we put into losing. It's debatable, I suppose. But in the end, you hold all the cards. When I want a man, I have him. When he finds he wants to tell, he finds he can't. That's the whole story.
And was that our story?
I wanted you before we even met. My self-esteem demanded it. Then when you began to pursue me, I wanted you so badly. It's the only one of my notions ever got the better of me. Single combat.
Thank you. My dear young man, how good it is to see you again.
Come. Sorry to be late.
Very nearly too late. As you know, Mademoiselle de Volanges.
It brings me such pleasure to hear her name spoken.
Yes, quite. As I was saying, Mademoiselle de Volanges has done me the honor of making me her confidant and counselor in this matter which concerns you both.
She could not have chosen more wisely.
Yes, well, be that as it may, I felt very strongly that you too might, in this situation which is extremely delicate, that you might find it beneficial to be able to confide in someone sympathetic, a person of experience. And I thought that the Vicomte de Valmont might be an ideal choice. And if you agree, he has already consented to devote himself to you entirely.
You see, I'm quite happy with things the way they are. Assuming she consents to see me, to continue with the music lessons.
Ah, the music lessons. Well, I assure you, I have no intention to press my...
No, please,
But I am honored to be at your service.
The honor, monsieur, is entirely mine, and any contact with you would be considered a privilege. Perhaps you'd care to join me
Excuse me, Chevalier, you really must leave. It would be prudent for you not to be found here. That is, if you want me to be of any effective assistance in the future.
No, of course.
Goodbye, Chevalier. My man will show you to a side exit.
I have to go to Versailles tomorrow. I don't know if you would care to join me?
I'd like that very much.
Good. I'll send a carriage for you at 9. I think you would have consulted me before offering up my services as general factum to that exasperating young boy. You know I have no interest in lovers' quarrels outside of the
I
opera.
thought if anyone could help him.
Help him! That boy doesn't need help, he needs hindrances. If he has to crawl over enough of them, he might inadvertently fall on top of her.
What do you want?
Well, I don't know.
No, please don't.
All right. All I want is for you to give me a kiss.
A kiss.
Yes.
And then you'll go.
And then I'll go.
Do you promise?
Whatever you say.
All right then.
It may have been easy for you to make a fool of me when I trusted you, but I think you'll find out here there's little room for trickery.
I recommend you conserve your energy for the task at hand.
Go fetch a surgeon.
Go. A moment of your time. A word of advice, which of course you may ignore, but it is honestly intended.
Go on.
The advice is beware the Marquise de Mertot.
You must permit me to treat with skepticism anything you have to say about her.
Nevertheless, in this affair, we are both her creatures.